Hey, welcome to my English channel. Today we have another exciting and interesting story for you. This one is about Sarah. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos. Now listen carefully to the story and enjoy. Sarah was a little girl. She lived in a small village called Kingston in Newark. The village was green and beautiful, but life was hard. Sarah's family was poor. Her father was a farmer and her mother sold vegetables. Sarah was only 8 years old, but she had a big dream. "I want to be a doctor," she said. Her father smiled. "Sarah, becoming a doctor is very hard. We don't have enough money," he told her. But Sarah didn't give up. "I will study hard. I will find a way," she said. She remembered a kind doctor who helped her brother when he was sick. That doctor made Sarah want to help people too. Every day Sarah walked to school. She didn't have shoes and her bag was old, but she didn't care. Sarah loved her school. Her teacher, Miss Lila, was very kind. Miss Lila told her, "Sarah, you can do anything if you work hard." At night, when the village was quiet, Sarah studied. She read her books under a small lamp. She knew her dream was far away, but she believed in herself. Sarah's journey had started. She wanted to change her life and help others too. Every morning, Sarah woke up early. The sun was not up yet, but Sarah was ready. She packed her old books and started walking to school. The school was far away. Sarah had to walk for 1 hour. The road was not easy. Sometimes it was muddy and her feet got dirty. Other times the sun was very hot and she felt tired. On the way, Sarah saw cows, goats, and big trees. She liked the birds that sang in the trees. One day, I will drive a car to school, Sarah thought. At school, Sarah didn't have new books or pencils. Her notebook was small and almost full, but she didn't stop writing. Miss Lila, her teacher, gave Sarah extra papers to write on. "Thank you, Miss Lila," Sarah said with a big smile. Miss Lila always said, "Sarah, you are smart. Keep working hard." After school, Sarah walked home again. She was tired but happy. She had learned something new. Even though the walk was long and hard, Sarah knew it was worth it. Every step brought her closer to her big dream. Miss Lila was Sarah's teacher. She was kind and always smiled. Miss Lila loved teaching and helping her students. One day, Miss Lila saw Sarah staying after class. Sarah was reading a big book. It had many difficult words. "Sarah, why are you reading this book?" Miss Lila asked. "I want to be a doctor, Miss Lila," Sarah said. "But it is hard. I don't understand all the words." Miss Lila sat next to Sarah. "Sarah, you are very smart," she said. "I know you can do it. You just need to work hard and never give up." Sarah's eyes lit up. "Really, Miss Lila? Do you think I can be a doctor?" "Yes, Sarah," Miss Lila said. "You can be anything you want. Always dream big. And remember, I am here to help you." From that day, Miss Lila gave Sarah extra lessons after school. She taught Sarah new words and how to solve math problems. "Thank you, Miss Lila," Sarah said. "I will study hard. I will make you proud." Miss Lila smiled. "I am already proud of you, Sarah," she said. Sarah felt happy and strong. With Miss Lila's help, she knew her dreams could come true. Sarah's family lived in a small house. They didn't have much money. Her father worked in the fields, and her mother made bread to sell in the village. One evening, Sarah's mother said, "Sarah, we cannot buy new books for school. We don't have enough money." Sarah felt sad. She needed books to study, but she didn't want to trouble her parents. "I will share books with my friend, Amina," Sarah said. "It will be okay, Mama." After school, Sarah helped her mother. She cleaned the house and took care of her little brother. Sometimes she helped her father carry water from the well. Even when she was tired, Sarah always did her homework. She studied late at night under a small lamp. Her father saw her one night. "Sarah, you work so hard," he said. "Yes, Baba," Sarah said. "I want to be a doctor. I will help people one day." Her father smiled. "You make us proud, Sarah," he said. Sarah knew her family struggled, but she was determined. She promised herself, "I will not give up. I will work hard for my dreams." One day, Sarah sat outside her school. She looked at her notebook. It was old and some pages were torn. She felt sad. Miss Lila, her teacher, walked by. "Sarah, why do you look so sad?" she asked. "I don't have new books or notebooks," Sarah said. "It is hard to study." Miss Lila smiled. "Sarah, you are a bright girl. Don't worry, I will help you." The next day, Miss Lila brought a bag to school. She gave it to Sarah. Inside were new books, pencils, and a notebook. "These are for you, Sarah," Miss Lila said. "You must keep working hard." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Miss Lila." "I will do my best," she said. From that day, Sarah studied even harder. She promised herself, "I will make Miss Lila proud." Miss Lila believed in Sarah. She always said, "Sarah, you can be anything you want. Never give up." One morning, Sarah sat under a tree during lunch. She ate her small meal, a piece of bread and some water. A girl named Amina walked over. Amina was new in Sarah's class. "Hi, I'm Amina. Can I sit with you?" she asked. Sarah smiled. "Yes, of course," she said. They started talking. Amina told Sarah, "My father got a new job here. That's why we moved." Sarah liked Amina. Amina was kind and funny. They laughed and shared stories about school. Amina saw Sarah's old books. "Your books are very old," Amina said. "Yes," Sarah said. "We don't have much money to buy new ones." The next day, Amina came to school with a surprise. She gave Sarah a small bag. "What is this?" Sarah asked. "Open it," Amina said with a big smile. Inside were pencils, an eraser, and some colorful markers. "These are for you," Amina said. "Now you can write and draw better." Sarah was so happy. "Thank you, Amina. You are a true friend," she said. From that day, Sarah and Amina became best friends. They studied together, helped each other, and dreamed about the future. One day, Miss Lila came into the classroom with a big smile. "Students, I have exciting news," she said. The students sat up and listened. "There is a science competition in the city. The winner will get a scholarship for school," Miss Lila explained. Sarah's eyes grew wide. A scholarship, she thought. "This could help my family," Miss Lila continued. You need to make a project about health or science. You have 2 weeks to prepare. At home, Sarah told her family. I want to join the competition, she said. Her father smiled. That's wonderful, Sarah. We will support you. Sarah worked hard on her project. She decided to make a poster about clean water and why it is important for health. Amina helped her. You can use my colored paper and markers, Amina said. Thank you, Amina. You are the best, Sarah said. After 2 weeks, Sarah and Amina went to the city for the competition. Sarah saw many students with their projects, so she felt nervous. What if my project isn't good enough? She thought. Amina held her hand. Don't worry, Sarah, you worked hard. Believe in yourself. When it was Sarah's turn, she stood in front of the judges. She explained her poster. She talked about how clean water can save lives. The judges smiled and nodded. After a long wait, they announced the winner. The scholarship goes to Sarah. Sarah couldn't believe it. I won, she shouted. Her family hugged her. Amina clapped and cheered. Sarah smiled. This is just the beginning of my dream, she thought. After winning the scholarship, Sarah felt very happy. But she also felt something else, hope. I can do this, she thought. I can be a doctor. With the scholarship, Sarah could now go to a better school in the nearby town. Her father said, Sarah, this school will help you learn more. But it is far from home. Are you ready? Sarah nodded. Yes, Baba, I will work hard and make you proud. The first day at the new school was exciting and scary. Sarah saw many students she didn't know. Will they be nice to me? She wondered. In class, the teacher asked everyone to introduce themselves. Sarah stood up and said, My name is Sarah. I love science and I want to be a doctor. Some students smiled. One girl, Layla, said, That's amazing. I love science too. Let's study together. Sarah was happy to meet Layla. Thank you. I would love to study with you, she said. At lunch, Sarah and Layla talked about their dreams. I want to help sick people, Sarah said. Layla nodded. Me too. We can help each other. Sarah felt a new kind of joy. She was making friends and learning new things every day. At night, she wrote in her notebook, This is a new chapter in my life. I will keep going, one step at a time. Sarah's new school was exciting, but it was also hard. The classes were bigger, and the teachers gave more homework. One evening, Sarah sat at her desk. Her science book was open, but her eyes felt heavy. I am so tired, she thought. Her mother came into the room. Sarah, you should rest, she said. Sarah shook her head. No, Mama, I must study. I have a test tomorrow. Her mother smiled and said, I am proud of you, my daughter, but don't forget to sleep. The next day, Sarah went to school. She gave her test paper to the teacher and hoped she did well. After class, Layla asked, How was the test? Sarah said, It was hard, but I think I did okay. Layla smiled. You always do well, don't worry. At the end of the week, Sarah got her test back. She had the highest score in the class. Her teacher said, Sarah, you are a hard worker. Keep it up. Sarah smiled and thought, hard work is not easy, but it is worth it. That night, Sarah made a promise to herself. No matter how hard it gets, I will never give up. She knew her dream of becoming a doctor was still far away, but she was ready for the journey. Sarah's hard work was paying off, but sometimes she felt lonely. At her new school, many students came from rich families. They had nice clothes, books, and even tutors. One day after class, Sarah sat alone in the library. She was reading her science book when a girl named Amina came over. "Hi, Sarah," Amina said with a smile. "Do you want to study together?" Sarah looked up, surprised. "Really? You want to study with me?" "Yes," Amina said. "You are so smart. Maybe we can help each other." From that day, Sarah and Amina became study partners. They worked on math problems, read stories, and shared ideas. Amina also told Sarah about a scholarship program. "If you apply, maybe they can help you buy books and pay for school," Amina said. Sarah's eyes lit up. "Really? That would be amazing." With Amina's help, Sarah filled out the scholarship form. A few weeks later, she got a letter. "Sarah, come here," her mother called. "You got something in the mail." Sarah opened the letter slowly. She read the words, "Congratulations, you have received a scholarship." Tears filled her eyes. "Mama, this means I can buy the books I need. I can keep studying." Her mother hugged her tightly. "I am so proud of you, Sarah." Sarah thanked Amina the next day. "You are not just my friend, you are my helper and my hero." Amina laughed. "We are helping each other, Sarah. That's what friends do." Sarah's scholarship brought new hope. With the money, she bought her first new books and a proper uniform. She felt confident and proud. At school, Sarah worked harder than ever. She loved science the most. Her teacher, Miss Lila, noticed her efforts. "Sarah," Miss Lila said one day, "you are doing very well. There's a science competition next month. Would you like to join?" Sarah felt nervous but excited. "Do you think I can win?" she asked. Miss Lila smiled. "Winning is not the most important thing. Trying your best is what matters." Sarah agreed and started preparing. Every evening after finishing her chores, she studied her science notes. Amina also helped her with practice questions. The day of the competition arrived. Sarah was one of the youngest participants. The room was big, and many students looked confident. When it was Sarah's turn, she stood in front of everyone and answered questions about plants, animals, and the human body. Her hands were shaking, but she remembered Miss Lila's words. "Try your best." When the results were announced, Sarah could hardly believe it. She had won second place. At school the next day, everyone clapped for Sarah. Even the principal shook her hand. "Sarah," he said, "you are an example of hard work and determination. Keep it up." Sarah felt proud, not just for herself, but for her family. She knew this was just the beginning of her journey. Sarah was happy about her schoolwork, but life at home was hard. Her family had little money. One day, Sarah's big sister, Amina, spoke to her. "Sarah, I will stop going to school," Amina said. Sarah was shocked. "Why?" "You love school." Amina smiled. "I want you to follow your dream. You can become a doctor. I will work and help the family." The next day, Amina started working in a small shop. She gave her money to their parents and even bought Sarah a new school bag. Sarah was sad, but also thankful. She wrote a note to Amina. "Dear Amina, thank you for helping me. I will study hard and make you proud. Love, Sarah." Amina smiled every time she read the note. Sarah worked harder in school. She wanted to make her family happy and strong. Sarah's school announced a big test. This test was very important. If Sarah did well, she could get a scholarship for high school. Miss Lila said, "Sarah, I know you can do it. Study hard." At home, Sarah studied every evening. She read her books by candlelight because the village had no electricity. Amina sat with her and helped. The day of the test came. Sarah was nervous. "What if I fail?" she thought. Amina hugged her. "You are smart, Sarah. Believe in yourself." Sarah entered the classroom. The teacher gave her the test paper. She read each question carefully. She thought hard and wrote her answers. When she finished, Sarah smiled. She knew she had tried her best. After a week, the results came. Miss Lila called Sarah to her desk. "Sarah, you got the highest score." Sarah ran home with the news. "Amina, I passed." Amina hugged her. "I knew you could do it." Now Sarah could go to high school. Her dream was one step closer. Sarah started high school in the nearby town. It was much bigger than her small village school. She was excited, but also nervous. The other students had nice uniforms and bags. Sarah's clothes were old and she had one notebook. Some students laughed at her, but Sarah didn't stop. She worked hard in class. The teachers noticed her. They said, "Sarah, you are very smart." At lunchtime, she sat alone under a tree. She missed her sister, Amina, and her village, but she remembered her dream. "I want to be a doctor." One day, a girl named Lila sat next to Sarah. "Hi, I'm Lila. What's your name?" "I'm Sarah," she said shyly. Lila smiled. "Let's eat together." Lila became Sarah's first friend. She helped Sarah with her schoolwork. Soon, Sarah made more friends. They all liked her because she was kind and smart. Sarah felt happy. She thought, "I am not alone anymore." Sarah's science teacher gave the class a project, build a model of the human body. Sarah had no money for materials, but Lila and her friends helped her. They found old boxes and paper. Together, they made a beautiful model. The teacher said, "Sarah, this is the best project. Well done." Sarah smiled. She loved science. She knew she wanted to be a doctor more than ever. One weekend, Sarah went back to her village. She hugged Amina. "I missed you." Amina gave Sarah a small bag. "I saved some money. Buy new books for school." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Amina." With the new books, Sarah's studies improved. She felt lucky to have a sister like Amina. At the end of high school, Sarah heard about a big scholarship for college. It was for the best student in the school. Sarah studied day and night. She wanted to win. After the exams, the principal called her to his office. "Sarah, you got the scholarship." Sarah couldn't believe it. She ran to call Amina. "I'm going to college." College was hard. Sarah had to study many hours every day. She also worked in the library to earn money. Her professors were kind. They said, "Sarah, you have a bright future." Sarah met more students who wanted to be doctors. They helped each other. Slowly, Sarah's dream was coming true. After many years, Sarah finished her studies. She became a doctor. When she returned to her village, everyone cheered. Amina hugged her and said, "I'm so proud of you, Sarah." Sarah opened a small clinic in the village. She helped sick people. Everyone called her Dr. Sarah. She looked at Amina and said, "We did it. Our dreams came true."